Welcome back. Good to have you here. You're watching Ozarks Tonight once again, and I'm David Oliver. If you saw someone experiencing a cardiac emergency, would you know what to do to save their life? Well, this week, the American Heart Association is having its annual AED and CPR Awareness Week so that all of us might know how to use life-saving skills to save someone in need. I've got two guests with me here on the broadcast tonight. I've got Peggy Scott with the American Heart Association here. You've seen her on our broadcast before. This is Amy Moran. You work at Kickapoo High School.
I do.
As a counselor, I believe.
Yes.
But Amy is a survivor. She has heart disease. Before we get into what AED and CPR Week is all about, Amy, tell us what your story is all about. You were pretty young when you found out you had this condition.
Yes, I was diagnosed at 20 with hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. So essentially what that is my heart was enlarged. So it is the #1 cause of sudden death.
In fact, it's called the drop-dead disease.
Yes,
people just say that.
Yes,
so.
Most people don't know they have it, and then they're either doing some form of exercise or some kind of strenuous activity, and they drop dead.
Okay. You have a unique story in that you've had some surgeries, and you've gone through a lot of different trials and tribulations in your journey. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, when I was 20, I was diagnosed, and then I received a pacemaker at 21. After I had my first child, it really put a lot of pressure on my heart. With my second child, I coded 3 times, and my heart just really tanked at that point. And so after that, I did have a myectomy, which is an open heart surgery to remove the muscle. And that was my first open heart surgery. And we thought that was going to fix it. But as sometimes happens with the disease, it continued to progress. And then I had another in 2013, had another open heart surgery. We thought that was going to work. It didn't. And then past 5 years, I've been going through transplant testing, really probably going to need a transplant in my future. But right now, I'm doing a drug trial. So hopefully, I'm just kind of experimenting with things. Hopefully, something will make it better.
And you're a mom with 2 boys, and just to see you walk in today and to see you're the picture of health. And people don't know what you're struggling with, obviously. One of your boys carries the gene for this condition,
He
too.
does.
Right?
My oldest, my 13-year-old, has the gene. It doesn't necessarily mean that he will get the disease, but he's more likely to get it than my 10-year-old is. So he is checked every year to make sure that he doesn't have any symptoms.
Peggy, tell me a little bit about AED and CPR Awareness Week and why it's so important and why we've designated this week to learn more about this.
Well, you know, it's a scary number, but 475,000 Americans die every year from sudden cardiac arrest. So we really want to raise awareness of that. We want people to know that they can make a difference. Bystander CPR makes a huge amount of difference in a situation like this. We would say don't be afraid to do it. I mean, it's 2 steps. It's call 911 and push hard and fast in the center of the chest. If there is an AED machine around, then you can also shock the heart, and those machines tell you what to do. We have one in our office. I've never had to use it on anyone, but when I've changed the batteries or I changed the little electrode pads, it seems like it's yelling at me, but that's what you're going to need in the case of an emergency. So I would always encourage everyone to know if you're where you work, if they have one, where it is in that situation. But I would also say that 70% of sudden cardiac arrests occur if they're outside of the hospital or in your home. So you need to know how to use CPR because you are going to be saving someone that you know or that you love.
Sure. What are you all doing this week to try to raise that awareness, besides things like this where we try to get the word out?
Well, you know, we do a lot of social media around this. We have a lot of videos. We have a lot of things going on. We have people like Amy that are sharing their stories. I would say we work about this all year long, but we are taking this week to really highlight it. I think it's 22 million people that the American Heart Association trains every year around the world in CPR and AED awareness. So there is lots of things going on all the time.
Sure. Amy, you said to me before we actually went on the air here that these types of issues here, CPR, AED, these services would save someone who has your condition, right?
For sure, yeah. And most of the people that die from my disease die of sudden death, like I said. And if there was, and they're usually, you know, teenagers or young athletes that are on the court playing basketball and they drop dead suddenly. And now all of the high schools in Springfield have an AED in our building. So that was a big relief for me, especially as a mom of a little boy that could potentially have a heart disease, to know that those are there for them. So if something does happen, there is, you know, coaches or someone that can easily grab that AED and save a life.
And they are more prevalent now. I mean, they're everywhere.
Yes, they're everywhere.
Really, and you know, it's when you go somewhere, like you know, I know a survivor that has a similar story to Amy's, who now, when she goes somewhere in a public setting, like Disney World, or with her kids to different activities, she wants to know where the AED machine is, because something like that happened to her. And so then she started this little campaign where she was taking pictures with the AED machine, so then her friends started taking pictures. So it's sort of a word of mouth, grassroots thing, but for everyone to know where the AED machine is really important.
As we're wrapping up our segment here on Ozarks Tonight, Amy, what would you say to people who are watching who probably don't know CPR, don't know about AEDs, about why it's so important? I mean, obviously it could save your life. It could save any of our lives.
Yeah, I would just encourage everyone to get trained in CPR. It's not a hard training. It doesn't take long to get trained, especially if you're working in an area where there's a lot of people that you're doing things that you know, like Peggy said, you know, that is a huge number of people that die from cardiac arrest. And the AED is nothing to be afraid of. You know, I know people are like, oh, that's kind of scary, but it really isn't. It's really easy to use, and the training to use an AED is literally like 15 minutes, and and so if people would become more aware, they could really save some lives.
And if people want more information, Peggy, where can they go to get that information?
They can go to heart.org and then just put in CPR in the search bar.
Okay, and is there training locally here?
Yes, there is. There's training all over the country. So wherever you are, you can put in your address and they can hook you up with who can give you training.
All right, Peggy Scott with the American Heart Association, thank you for being here.
You.
Amy, thank you. Amy Moran, thank you for sharing your story with us, and you take care of yourself, okay?
Thank you so much.
All right. We'll have more Ozarks Tonight after this quick break.